There's an old building in an unnamed city. It has an elevator that sometimes stops at the 13th floor, even though there is no button for it and no one ever enters or exits on that floor. The first time it happens is when a young woman named Sarah moves into the apartment. She's moving into her grandmother's old place after she passed away, and while going through the apartment, she finds an old diary. In the diary, it says that the 13th floor is a gateway to another world. Sarah, being a skeptic, doesn't believe it. One night, though, she is taking the elevator up to her apartment on the 10th floor. When the elevator suddenly stops between floors, she steps out and finds herself in a dark corridor that smelled of something rancid. At the end of the hall was a door. It opened, revealing a staircase that went down into darkness. As Sarah stood there, contemplating what to do, a man came out of the darkness. His eyes were wide and his clothes were torn and dirty. He ran out of the room, down the stairs, and into the elevator, which then took him down to the lobby where he disappeared from sight. Sarah, scared but intrigued, decided to investigate further. She went back into the elevator and pushed the button for the 13th floor. The elevator lurched forward and then suddenly stopped. The doors opened and Sarah stepped out onto the 13th floor. Just as the diary had described, the floor was dark and smelled terrible. Sarah could feel a cold breeze on her skin, and she could hear strange noises coming from the other side of the floor. She took a deep breath and started to walk towards the sound. As she walked, she saw the man from before sitting in a corner. He looked up at her and his eyes filled with terror. He started to scream at Sarah, warning her to get out while she still could. But Sarah couldn't understand what he was saying. All she heard was gibberish. The ground began to shake and the walls started to close in on Sarah. She turned and ran for the elevator, but when she stepped inside, it wasn't the same. Instead of the familiar buttons and levers, there were strange symbols all over the control panel. As Sarah reached out to press the button for the 10th floor, a voice echoed through the elevator. It spoke to her in a language she didn't understand, but the meaning was clear. This elevator was no longer a way to get home. It was a gateway to another world, a world that was now closing in on her. And then the lights went out. Now, if you made it this far, I have a question for you. Do you want to know what happened next? Well, unfortunately, I can't tell you, because this story is not over. It's actually part of a larger world that I've been creating for the past few years. The problem is, I can't seem to find the ending, and so I need your help. If you want to know how this story ends, you're gonna have to find it yourself. Luckily for you, I've left some clues that will lead you to the next part of this story. All you have to do is look around.